Good morning, students, and welcome to history class. Yes, students, we are learning about the revolt of 1857 or the first war of independence, no? And we have completed two reasons for the great uprising, the political and the social religious causes that led the revolt of 1857. And in this class, we learn about the most important cause of the revolt or the first war of independence. The most important reason or the cause for the great uprising of 1857. So the economic policies of the Britishers, the economic policies of the Britishers, their trade policy, agricultural policy, all these policies badly affect the Indian people. So what was the trade policy of the British on those days in India? And what was the agricultural policy of the Britishers on India on those days? Okay, so we can call economic factors or causes. Okay, there are many factors, and these factors were the main reason for the great uprising or the revolt of 1857, because these policies badly affect the Indian people. Okay, please remember. Okay, we will learn these points one by one. Their exploitation of our resources was one cause for the revolt. Their exploitation of the East India Company exploited the Indian resources, and this was one major reason for the great uprising. Okay, for example, they purchased raw materials from India or Indian farmers at a cheap rate, and then they exported these raw materials to England. Once again, the East India Company purchased raw materials from the Indian farmers at a cheap rate. For example, raw cotton was the raw material for cotton textile industry, and this had much importance or demand in Great Britain, I mean England. So what happened? East India Company officials purchased raw cotton from the Indian farmers, but the farmers had a very less price. Now they got a very less price. After that, what happened? So they imported their finished goods to India. They exported a number of various raw materials from India to England. After that, they imported their goods to India. So what happened? So these imported goods destroyed the Indian industries, mainly the cottage and the small scale industries. Please remember once again, their trade policy, export of raw materials to England and import of finished goods to India destroyed the Indian industries mainly. For example, the machine made goods were very cheap, and the Indian handmade goods or the Indian products were not able to compete with the British goods. So what happened? So slowly or gradually, so the demand for the Indian goods declined. So many industries collapsed. Now, what is essential for the success of an industry? Market is essential for the success of an industry. Market is very important. For example, a person started one industry, he is having what we can say raw materials, workers. After that, he produced, but unfortunately, his product has no market. It means his industry will not be a success. Okay, please remember. So, like that on those days. Another reason that destroyed the Indian economy was the drain of wealth to England in the form of salaries and many other expenditure. But this drain had no benefit for India. There was a drain of Indian money to England, a flow of Indian money to England. and we had no return to this drain or a flow. So it was a great loss for Indian economy. So the drain, no, for example, there were many British officials and their salary was very high, and the officials, they did not invest this money in India, so they transferred this money to or sent this money to England. So drain of Indian wealth to England, an example. Okay, and what about the condition of the Indian farmers? The condition of the Indian farmers was pathetic. British imposed heavy taxes on the farmers to meet their expenses, but they did not spend a single rupee for the benefit of the farmers. Okay, so I mean agriculture community, farmers, no. Agriculture is the backbone of Indian economy then also, now also. So what is essential? The government has to care the farmers. That is very important, very, very important. The government has to provide, or the banks have to provide easy loans to the farmers. Already we all in geography we all know. Sometimes no monsoon can destroy the crop of the farmers. A monsoon, if there is excess monsoon, if there is very less monsoon, both can affect the farmers. So then what is essential? If there is a crop failure, what is essential? So help from the government is essential there. Okay, help from the government is very essential. On those days, the British did not support the Indian farmers. They introduced a number of taxes, increased the taxes, and the farmers were not able to cultivate. Okay, this reduced the agricultural production, caused many famines in India. Farmers were not able to cultivate means, they had to pay more taxes, and their profit was very less. So what happened? Many farmers left their land, and this caused what we can say less production, caused a number of famines. On those days, agriculture was the backbone of the Indian economy. Now also it is the backbone, no? The growth or the development of agriculture is very, very essential for the development of a country's economy. On those days, Britishers had no such what we can say feeling. They did not support the Indian farmers. Instead, they introduced and implemented policies for their benefit only. Please remember this point, their economic policies. The English did nothing to encourage Indian trade industry. The growing poverty of the masses and the frequent famines spread discontent. They became desperate and joined the revolt in the hope of improving their lot. So what was the condition of the Indian masses? No, what was the condition? So they had a very, very bad condition. And after the beginning of the revolt, so many families joined the revolt to what we can say with the hope improving their lot. Then there was a sudden and a quick collapse of Indian handicrafts, and it impoverished the craftsmen. Already we all know. Their import policy destroyed the Indian handicrafts and the small scale and the cottage industries. Please remember, we are learning about the most important cause for the great revolt. It is about the economic. Already we all know economic factors were the most important reason for the great uprising. Already we all know there was a drain of wealth, decay of pottery industries and handicrafts, collapse of the cotton industries. Already we are in heavy duties on Indian silk and cotton textiles in Britain destroyed Indian industries. There was export of Indian silks to Britain. But after some days, so the British government imposed heavy duty on Indian goods. So this reduced the demand for Indian goods in England because of high price. Okay, and we have read about the farmers' condition of the farmers, and growing unemployment was there. Okay, and inhuman treatment of indigo cultivation. Indigo trade was highly profitable to the British, but the conditions under which the persons had to work were inhuman. Indigo trade was there, indigo. Okay, indigo trade. It had what we call indigo is a natural what we call a dye, no? It had a much demand in Great Britain. So what happened? The East India Company purchased indigo and exported. But the peasants were, okay, listen, indigo trade was highly profitable to the British, but the conditions under which the peasants had to work were inhuman. The peasants were forced to cultivate only indigo in the fields chosen by the British planters. If they planted anything else, their crops were destroyed and their cattle were carried off as punishment. So this was the condition of the Indian farmers on those days. No, all this was angry, okay, or discontent, or what we say, farmers not very happy. So that is why they revolted against the Britishers in 1857. Okay, please remember, we have learned the third cause for the revolt of 1857, that was the economic factors or economic causes. Okay, economic causes. And now one reason is remaining, that is the military cause that I will explain in another class. So please, I already said no, listen the class, then revise the lesson if you have the textbook. Okay, so thank you.